big problem. And we're talking about ways of dealing with that, but clearly we need non-invasive tools like this. So we really focus in on the best areas, the hot spots. And I'm very excited because I can see from the genetics, we can see the connectivity between the different populations. So all those purple spots that you see around are sightings of snow leopards. You can see they're over a vast area. It's roughly maybe 1 million square miles, just short of 1 million square miles, something like that, of actual range, but a much larger area, of course, because there's big gaps in here. And there are really two populations, the Himalayan Tibetan one and the Mongolian Russian one. And there's a big gap between the two. I think a lot of the connectivity used to happen up here in Kazakhstan. That has been broken now by major roads and railroads. So we have to think about how are we going to preserve the genetic diversity of these cats. And I've been working with I guess GIS, Geographic Information Service, computers, taking elevation maps from satellites. I can actually predict very, very accurately the habitat that snow leopards would use. So this is a simplified diagram showing the potential breeding habitat in blue and the population habitat in green. Now, population would mean many pairs of breeding pairs. These blue areas would be far fewer cats and more tenuous long term. These populations could die out like lights being turned on and off by all sorts of factors. A very bad winter, a disease comes through and kills the prey base. All these are serious factors. So what we want to do over long term is figure where should we put our conservation effort. This is critical habitat because it's a connectivity down to Tibet. And yet you can see they're very small patches, nothing very big, no population. Up here going back into Russia, there's great connectivity, but very few cats in Russia because they've been hunted out. So these sort of tools are things that we can use, but how are we going to get there? I was very fortunate 4 or 5 years ago to meet His Holiness the Dalai Lama in Washington and talk about the sort of issues that we had. And we all sort of really agreed that culture, that religion, that the sanctity of animals, those sort of Buddhist feelings that they have, could be used for conservation. And I really want to blend science and traditional knowledge. Too much I've seen Western science come in, it has its facts and figures, but it forgets about the art of everything, about, the real life forces, if you would call it that. And if we can blend the two together,